Elite Facts presents Bodybuilders Who Went Too Far. 10. Ole Cooney started weightlifting at age 16 and took on some really grueling routines. By the age of 18, his doctor told him to slow his progress down and, more importantly, to stop using steroids. The drugs had already taken their toll, though, and through his own admissions, their use had caused him chronic chest pains, scarring on his heart, and breathlessness. He stopped taking the drugs, but the damage was done, and he suffered 3 strokes before being told to stop bodybuilding completely. It didn't take long before the inevitable happened, and he collapsed on a night out and died on the way to the hospital, leaving a distraught mother alone. 9. The saddest thing about bodybuilding is that it's really not the best activity for your health. Many bodybuilders focus so hard on their aesthetics that they neglect important health issues. One tragic example is Anthony DiRezzo, who suffered from cardiomyopathy, a congenital heart defect. Doctors warned him that if he didn't stop pumping iron and doing steroids, the condition would kill him, but the lure of the gym was too much for him. In 2006, he ignored doctors' orders and started working out and shooting growth hormones. He flew to Pittsburgh to compete and died of a heart attack in his hotel room the night before the show. 8. Some bodybuilders are specialists, focusing on just one muscle as opposed to making the whole body a harmonious masterpiece. Mustafa Ismail is one of them, and he holds the record for the largest biceps in the world. The rest of Ismail's frame isn't anything special, but his bulging biceps are 31 inches in diameter. For reference, that's about as big as an average man's waist. Ismail denies any claims of cheating with stuff like synthol injections and complains that it's very difficult to buy shirts that fit. 7. San Francisco bodybuilder Gordon Kimbrough was described as a shy, quiet man who wouldn't hurt a fly before he started cycling on growth hormones to compete. The artificial hormones turned him into a very different person, though. And in 1993, he snapped and murdered his fiancée, Christy Ramsey, in a fit of passion because he thought she'd found another man. Police found him the next day at the scene trying to inject enough Lysol into his neck to kill himself. 6. Imagine coming home from dinner out and seeing a 300-pound man standing on your lawn and looking mighty aggressive. This is the scene that a California couple faced when Ruben Arzu lost his mind and went crazy. Arzu attacked the husband immediately, savagely beating him and breaking his jaw. When his wife ran inside to call the police, Arzu grabbed her by the head and fractured her skull. Thankfully, nobody was killed, and the rampaging Hulk was taken into custody. 5. When bodybuilders get so obsessed with their size, they can take some desperate measures to get big. One of the most popular aids in recent years has been synthol, a synthetic oil that is directly injected into a muscle to inflate it. The end result looks unnatural and bizarre, but it certainly does the job. Greg Valentino was, at one point, the man with the largest arms in the world, and he employed synthol to keep them huge. Administering all of those injections took its toll on Valentino, though, and he developed a hematoma in his right arm that started leaking pus. He tried to drain it himself with a syringe and his biceps exploded, making a grotesque bloody mess that resulted in a trip to the hospital. 4. Many competitors resort to diuretics before they get on stage to push them over the edge and remove all of that water weight. These can have incredibly scary effects. One of the saddest stories is of Austrian legend Andreas Munzer, who was renowned for his extremely low body fat. In 1996, Munzer was rushed to the hospital complaining of stomach pain and died on the operating table. His autopsy revealed that he had had numerous tumors on his liver, his testicles were shrunken, and his heart was twice the size of a normal man's, all the result of his chemical abuse. 3. In 2011, giant bodybuilder Chad Brothers was in the middle of a workout at a Gold's Gym when he tripped and fell off an elliptical machine. That was all it took to send him into a crazy frenzy of drug-induced proportions, threatening people and damaging property. CCTV shows Brothers rampaging through the gym. When the police showed up to apprehend him, it took 2 shots with a taser to bring him down, and he passed out and died an hour later. 2. One of the scariest things about the effects of human growth hormone on the brain is that it can lurk unnoticed for years. Take Bert Fox, famous for his incredible muscle density. After winning multiple titles, he returned home to start his own gym. Then one day he walked into the dress shop that his mother-in-law owned and shot her to death with a pistol, and then shot his wife. He claims it was all in self-defense, but the evidence was against him and he was sent to jail for life. 1. Gary Heiming demonstrated the risks in bodybuilding in the most extreme way by dying on stage. Heiming was competing in the Masters Division event when he collapsed from a heart attack after his set. Amazingly though, the show continued after his body was removed from the stage. Thanks for watching another amazing video, folks. Subscribe for more from Elite Facts.